Hey, what's going on guys? I'm here with another update on the Beyblade Burst app. So as you can see, I am on the App Store and Hasbro has recently released another update. I think their last update was actually a few weeks ago, but it wasn't anything major besides Orbit being finally released in the app. But this update actually looks quite major. I have heard some stuff, by the way, but I don't want to spoil it. So if we do click on it, it says light up your battles with Ripfire Beyblade Burst tops. So I think those are the electronic Beyblade Burst tops that were announced, but I'm going to go ahead and update it to see what's in the update. Alright, so the update is ready, and now let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, so I'm on the menu screen right now, and hopefully the recording doesn't lag a lot. Anyway, here is the main menu, and I'm going to do a quick check for my collection if it's still intact. Yeah, I still am missing some stuff, unfortunately, like Excalibur and all that, but they have kept the recolors that I did purchase in the last update. So the first thing I'm going to do is check the shop. I see Ifritter I2, which is Inferno Ifrit, as well as a new base stadium, so I am super hyped right now. I also see Cycle, and yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and buy that Ifritter I2. And the new base stadium. Since I do have this glitch with the base shop, and I know you guys, or some of you guys don't have this, I can keep visiting it and unlock everything. And this is Excalibur X2, so Xeno Excalibur. Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. And there's another stadium, the Digital Chaos Base Stadium. Now what I'm going to do actually is not buy it because I think you can scan the QR code, which will be my next video. So I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side, but I also see Jormungand. Anyway, here is Excalibur, or Xeno Excalibur, and this looks to be a recolor, I think. We can see the white, gold, and black, which actually mixes really well. For some reason, though, it does have Knuckle. I'm not seeing Magnum. I see Infinity now from Zillion Zeus. Okay, so there is Magnum. That's awesome. So it's right there. I'm gonna keep that then. And then there's Impact. There are some recolors, but I still can't get those yet. This recolor actually looks really awesome, and if you check those stats right there, it is maxed out in attack, just how it should be, so that's a really cool Beyblade. The next one is Ifritter I2, so this is Hasbro's version of Inferno Ifrit, and this does come with the correct parts. It does have a really funky recolor though, like red with light highlights and a blue liner, so really cool. But anyway, I'm going to go back now and just check the practice mode. But let's go to practice mode to see all of the new Beyblades. And you can see this new stadium here, which is the Digital Spirit-based stadium. I believe that's a stadium that will be released later in the summer with the figures on each side. Okay, so I'm going to go to Custom Opponent to look at the new selection. And so far I'm not seeing anything. Oh yeah. Alright, this is amazing. So here is Lost LUINOR, or I think that's what it's called because they changed it from Longinus. And I'm pretty sure they have all of the parts. I'm going to go ahead and look for it now. Whoa, yeah, there's 9. Okay guys, I am really confused right now. Actually, alright, so I don't know what I just did, but it seems to have converted it to the electric tops. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. Alright, so that was very odd. Let me go ahead and get LUINOR again, because I did want to show that off real quick. Wow, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Okay, so we're going to start with the best, and that being LUINOR or Longinus, whatever you guys want to call it. I'm going to look for Spiral real quick. Okay, so here is Lost LUINOR, and this thing looks so sick. They actually kept the layer pretty identical, I think. It looks untouched. As for the disc, it does have no paint, unfortunately. I really like that whole blue color scheme that they had going on, but I guess no paint means no chipping in a disc. And Spiral looks pretty much identical, just solid colored. So I'm really hyped for this release. I'm really glad they have it in the update. I think that's a good sign. And if you just look at that layer though, that does pretty much confirm that there will be metal in the layer, or at least metallic colored plastic, whatever they do, but hopefully it is metal, or I have my fingers crossed for that. Moving on, we have Jormungand, and let me go ahead and get the rest of the parts. Okay, so that took a while, but anyway, here is Jormungand, and it looks basically untouched, really identical colors. The layer looks blue, the disc is there, and cycles yellow, so really awesome. I'm glad Hasbro didn't screw this colorway up. And hopefully these slopes are good. I'm thinking that they might actually give some decent slopes, which would make the layer pretty good in the metagame, since it is a very circular layer. Next up is Ifritor I2, so let me go ahead and pull that up. Okay, here we have the entire Beyblade, and I did show it earlier, so it does have a funky color scheme with the liner being like a light blue. And Magnum is just the standard color, which is alright. Hopefully this one doesn't break as well. I know Kartomi's did not get reinforced and it still breaks, which is why I don't even use mine anymore. Okay, so here is Giga Gaianon, which is pretty weird name actually. Here is the layer, and it looks all blocky and red, but I do see some highlights on the top, I think. But other than that, it looks untouched as well. I'm not sure if that fusion's supposed to be the right color though. I can see it being black as the anime, but I know this layer is actually really good for Kartomi, and hopefully Hasbro doesn't screw it up by giving it some bad slopes. But the design is really awesome, really nice and blocky, and good for the fence. Quarter is also really unbalanced, which just makes for some really cool movements. Anyway, next up we have FENGRIFF F2, so that's Pharaoh Fenris. Whoa, that's a weird name. Let me go ahead and get the other parts. Alright, so here are the parts. It's a really basic Beyblade, but just look at that beast. It looks so freaking sick. But if you look at the layer itself, it is blue with some really cool highlights going on. And that name is so weird. Pharaoh Fenris. They could have just kept it basic with Fenrir, but no, they have to change up everything. Anyway, I'm really psyched for this one because it's really hard to get the Kartomi version, at least in the original colorway. And this one will be in the blue, as Hasbro should make every Beyblade in the original colors, but I'm actually glad they're doing that, so really looking forward to this. But anyway, let's move on to the next Beyblade. So this is ANUBION A2, and I'm just going to pull up the rest of the parts. So I pretty much predicted it. That orbit is going to be for ANUBION, or what's now called Atlas ANUBION. Whoa, that is a really cool name actually. And you can see the beast looking really sick. The layer actually looks untouched as well, so it's like a nice golden, maybe just yellow color with the nice highlights. So I'm glad Hasbro didn't change that up too much. Orbit also looks like a dark black or brown, just how it should be. So really hyped for this. I know that Acid Anubis, or at least its Kartomi version, is now actually really good for some stamina combos. So maybe the Hasbro one might do good too. And next we have Zillion Zutron. Alright, so here is the entire Beyblade, and if you just look closely on the layer, there are metal balls, so hopefully these will move around rather than just staying put. The layer does come in a really nice black, as it should be from Kartomi, and then some highlights on the layer, so really impressed by Hasbro. The weight is a red color rather than yellow, but I don't mind. I'm actually really hyped for this release as well. So here is Excalibur X2, and I know I already showed it earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and show it again. So this basically looks like they ripped it straight from Kartomi, which is awesome. I'm so glad they didn't mess up the colors on this, because honestly I think they work really well as they are. So the layer looks identical, and also the disc. The only difference being the driver is like a solid color with black rubber, but nonetheless it looks pretty good. And I think this is our final new release, and that's Quetzalcoatl Q2, or Quill Quetzalcoatl, and that's also another weird name. Let me pull up the parts. Okay, so this Beyblade is pretty much complete, and the colors do look pretty identical. The disc is like a lighter blue, I guess, but the layer itself does look like the original colors, which is really awesome. This is another Beyblade that's kind of hard to come by, especially because Random Booster Volume 4 is really rare. Unfortunately, as much as I really want it, it's really hard to find, so I do have some high hopes for this Beyblade. I'm hoping that the slopes aren't too bad. So I guess that's it for all the new releases. However, there is one more thing I wanted to show you guys, and that being the Ripfire tops that they did mention in the description. So if you keep scrolling through the discs, or actually the drivers, it should convert to the Ripfire parts, which actually gets me really confused because it's making it a lot harder to navigate through parts. But let me just go ahead and show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so you can see here that it's switched to the Ripfire parts, and these parts look like really chunky, and the disc does seem to be made out of metal, but you can see that light bulb right there, which indicates the Ripfire parts. Now my question is, are they going to be compatible with the regular layers, since it seems like that's the case, at least in the app. I'm not completely sure about this, but so far we have a really limited selection for parts. They do look similar to the original parts, but a lot bulkier, so I'm not sure how that works exactly. Anyway, let's move back. I know the stadiums are new, but I do want to make some separate videos for those, and I think I may have the QR codes for these. Anyway, I think that's it for this update, and I'm just super hyped for all the upcoming releases. Of course, they do release them first in the app before they make it to stores, but this is a really good indicator, especially because Lost Longinus does seem to have metal in the layer, which I'm really looking forward to. Anyway, that's it for this update, and if I missed anything, make sure to let me know in the comment section. I think I covered everything though. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, see ya.